Do you ever feel like a fraud? Like, there are all these voices in your head whispering, you don't belong here, or you don't have what it takes. One of these days, someone is going to figure you out. And it just eats away at you. Everyone seems to have it figured out except me. Like, there's some secret formula that I never got the memo on, or some group chat that I wasn't invited to. And I keep wondering, if all I have are my dreams and this relentless drive to learn, is that actually enough? Here's the thing. I never studied film. I don't do any of this professionally. I can afford high-end gear, and I'm building this channel from scratch, teaching myself everything while juggling the rest of my life. But I'm also stubborn as hell, and when it comes to my dreams, no just isn't an option. Which brings me to today's video. Dehancer recently reached out asking me if I'd review their film emulation plugin, and for full transparency, they're not paying me to say any of this. They just want my honest take on their product, which I really respect. And since I know a lot of you are in the same boat as me, trying to elevate your work without a film degree or a massive budget, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to walk you through exactly how I've been improving my videos and how Dehancer fits into that workflow. If you've been here a while, you would know that I'm obsessed with the cinematic film look. The grain, the halation, the bloom, the Super 8 frames, all of it. So when Dehancer reached out, I was genuinely so excited because this is specifically a film-like color grading plugin designed to replicate authentic film stocks. But before we get to that, let me show you the foundation first. The things I did before Dehancer that already started improving my videos. Number 1. Invest in a decent camera. I personally use the Sony ZV-E10. It's relatively affordable and I've seen a lot of successful creators use it too. Number 2. Your lens matter more than you think. I started out with a manual 7 Artisans lens and the kit lens that came with my camera. But then I upgraded to a Tamron zoom lens, and that switch drastically improved my image quality and my workflow. No more swapping lenses mid-shoot for different framing. Number 3. Lighting is everything. I'll be honest, I don't have a proper lighting setup yet, so I try to shoot outdoors or during the day whenever possible. Natural light is your best friend. I used to think I could fix it in post, but the difference between well-lit footage and poorly lit footage is night and day, so don't skip this step. Number 4. Shoot in picture profile 8. This was a breakthrough moment for me. I experimented with countless settings, YouTube tutorials, manual tweaks, default profiles, but picture profile 8 finally gave me the creative control that I needed for color grading. It's flat enough to work with, but not overly complicated. Number 5. Keep your color grading simple. Early on, I'd slap on random LUTs or track the temperature trying to mimic Wong Kar-wai or Wes Anderson or whatever filmmaker I was obsessed with that week. And it looked terrible. Now I focus on the basics. Exposure, contrast, balancing highlights and shadows. Master the fundamentals first before trying to get too artistic. And this is where Dehancer comes in. I've already added my clips to the timeline. First step is to add an adjustment layer and drop Dehancer onto it. Now Dehancer needs to know what camera you're shooting with, so it can properly interpret your footage. I use the Sony ZV-E10, but they don't have that specific profile yet, so based on what I've researched, the closest match is the Sony a6400 with the S-Log 3 and S-Gamma 3. I'll push the exposure compensation to about 0.1 just to brighten things slightly. Next up, choosing the film stock. Honestly, they have a ton of options here, which is great, but can also get a little overwhelming. I wish there was a way to preview these stocks before applying them just to save time and navigate more efficiently, but that's kind of a general issue with Premiere Pro. You can't really preview LUTs either before you commit, so for the Super 8 look, I'm going with the Rolei CN200. It has that warm, retro, slightly faded quality that really nails that analog aesthetic. One thing to note though is to make sure you check enabled for the effect to actually take place. As a new user, I found this a little confusing at first. I'd adjust the settings and nothing would happen because I forgot to enable the layers, so just a heads up. Now let's dial in the film developer settings. Again, click enable, set the settings to where it feels right for you. I set my contrast to 39, color separation to 100, and color boost to around 43. This is where you start to see that filmic separation between your highlights and your shadows. It's subtle, but it makes a huge difference. Next is film compression. Again, enable it, set the impact to 100, white point to 100 as well, tonal range to 30, and color density to 50. This mimics how film handles light differently than digital sensors. It compresses highlights in a way that feels more organic and not clipped. Under expand, enable it again, and set the white point to 100. Now for the fun stuff, the texture. For film grain, I'm choosing 8mm with an ISO 50, which really sells the illusion. Digital footage is too clean, too sharp, and grain adds that tactile and perfect quality that makes it feel real. For bloom, I'm going with the 8mm Super 8 as well. Bloom, as we all know, is that soft glow around the highlights. Think of how own videos have that dream, hazy quality. It's subtle but also adds a lot of character. One thing I wish Dehancer had is a simple slider to adjust the intensity of these effects. Right now, if you want to tweak the amount of grain or bloom, you have to click custom and dive into all these individual parameters, which honestly can be a bit overwhelming, especially when you're starting out. Sometimes you just want to dial it up or down without getting into the weeds, you know? Film damage, same thing. This adds scratches, dust, those little imperfections that remind you that this footage has lived a life. Film breath simulates the natural breathing of film as it runs through a projector. Again, a tiny detail, but it all adds up. And gate weave is that slight jitter and movement you see in old film productions. Now this is entirely optional, but as someone who has always searched for and used vintage frames, I wanted to mention this feature, and it's called Overscan. Dehancer has a library of film frames that you can choose from, different aspect ratios, different formats, and for this look, obviously we're going with a Super 8mm. And just like that, digital footage is transformed into something that looks like it was shot from a Super 8. Now, is it perfect? No. There are things that I tweak. Like I mentioned, it would be helpful to have simple intensity controls for grain, bloom, and other settings without diving into the custom settings. The preview function for film stocks and the enable toggle being a little confusing at first, but the thing is, this would have taken me hours to try and recreate manually. And even then, it probably wouldn't even look this authentic. Dehancer isn't just a desktop plugin, they also have an iOS app and an online version called Dehancer Online. The mobile app is actually very different from the desktop version. It's designed for quick edits, on the go, and Dehancer Online works entirely in your browser, so you don't even have to install anything. Look, I'm not a professional, I'm not in the same league as the other creators who have reviewed this plugin, but I think that's exactly the point. I'm just like you, trying to figure this out, and the reason I wanted to do this review is because tools like Dehancer make something that used to feel impossible and intimidating actually accessible for people like us who are learning as we go. Again, you don't have to be great to start, you just have to start. That's it for this video, and I'll see you on the next one.